Joshua, good to see you, of course. You've got Zach Parker that you're looking forward to next. Just a rewind to the fight with Callum Smith and the process of coming back from that fight. Do you feel mentally in a position now ready to take on another challenge after what was a brilliant fight between the two of you, but you come out on the losing end?
Yeah, I think it's a fight that I've received a lot of good feedback from. It was in February, so by the time I get in the ring, it would have been a long time to get over it, to rest, to let my body heal, and to prepare for another fight. So, I had a phone call about it, I think 2 weeks ago. A family member of mine was still upset, and I said, look, the fight was in February, so let's move on from that. So it's something that I've done. A fight that, yes, I learned a lot from. A fight that I had to demonstrate some of the stuff that I've said I can do, but it was time to demonstrate it. You never know when you're going to be called upon to demonstrate it, so that was quite interesting as well. But yeah, I'm definitely over it and looking forward to November the 1st to fight.
There's a similar thing happening last week in Moses Itauma's fight, saying about how he's never had his chin checked. That wasn't quite a question coming from yourself, considering the fight you had with Marco Kalic, which was a brutal affair, and you come up on the winning end of that one. But as a fighter, is it at least a positive that you're able to prove at the highest level, coming against a former world title holder, that you can be in amongst the best of them for the full distance?
Yeah, I mean, you look at opponents that have tested you, then you look at someone at the level that Smith was at, and then you say, okay, cool, I was able to endure that and to go through that and to give him a good run for his money. So, yeah, in some aspect, you're like, okay, I've got that in the pocket. But as you know, the aim in my sport is to win. It's to not come and show you who the toughest guy is. It's to win, which on that night I didn't get. So, again, November the 1st is to win. It's not to come out and prove that I'm tough or this and that. No, it's to win.
What would you say is the level difference between a Callum Smith and a Zach Parker?
I haven't got a gauge in terms of the level of opponent or the levels that they're in. This is an opponent that's hungry, that knows that winning will get him in a good place. So I haven't gauged what level he's at. I just know someone I have to beat.
Just Josh, what are your reflections on the Callum Smith fight from a technical perspective when you watch it back? Where do you think the difference in the result came from there?
I looked at it and I said, look, yeah, there were many close rounds and it was a close fight, but I saw it as he did cleaner work. There were rounds where I said it was clear he won that round and he might have had just a bit more to that than I did. So in fairness, yeah, I said, you know what, he did technically do some clean work that I think he did.
First fight under the Queensbury banner when it became clear that you'd be parting ways with Boxer. Is this the place you always had your eyes on coming?
No, I wouldn't say it's the place that I always have my eyes on coming. It's a place where, yes, there were many opportunities that I could have come here, but I think this was the right time. And I've always said in other interviews, when you look at the fights that are being made that we thought wouldn't happen, and you're like, damn, these fights are being made, and you look at who's promoting it, it happens to be Queensbury. So it was a decision that my team and I felt this was the right place to be.
What about in terms of the viewership? There was a concern from yourself when you signed with Sky Sports about the platform and the viewership. DAZN have since made a number of moves, especially acquiring Queensbury. Do you think you'll get the viewership for your fights? That was a concern for you. Rewind 18 months or so.
So prior, I think 2 years ago when I was with Boxer, that was a concern of mine. But like you said, now they've grown massively, and they're putting on good shows. Like, you're putting on good shows. I think the viewership might have grown. I haven't got the numbers in front of me, but this is an assumption of mine. But again, I'm happy to be back on the app, and there's more than one promoter. Do you know what I mean? And they're putting on crazy shows. You can't be in my industry and not want to be on a platform like this. So this is where I am.
Speaking of viewership, a fight that would certainly draw eyeballs is yourself and Anthony Yarde. Would there be any regrets, Josh, if you retired your career and that fight had never materialised?
I wouldn't. I don't know if regret is the word, but regret's not far off the word, because it'd be very disappointing to say, damn, I didn't fight Yarde. It's not like he's from somewhere far, like Australia, for example, and it couldn't happen. No, he's from London. We both have the same promoter, so it's something that I'm very optimistic, and I think it will happen sooner rather than later.
What's your breakdown on his shot at David Benavidez?
Both said it's going to be a shootout. That's the breakdown. So if both fighters have said that, and we know they've both got fan-friendly styles, then I'm looking forward to it.
Fighters, when they take a loss, normally they make big changes. You've obviously changed promotional outfit, like you've seen Daniel DeBra, trainer, manager. Is there any other changes in terms of your team?
No, that's it. And in terms of the changes, it goes back to what I said. After a loss, people sit back and say, yeah, now I see who my true friends are. I see who I didn't have to sit down and make this assessment or get this revelation of who my true friends are or aren't. I didn't have to do that. So no changes have been made in terms of my team. It's still the same people. We understood that we fell short last time, and we understand that the next one we have to get it right.
A comment you made on stage was talking about your fight with Zach Parker. You said Michael's style is completely different. I remember you used to be a vicious amateur. You would really stand forward. I remember Sam Maxwell told me you were pound for pound hardest puncher on GB boxing. Could we see that maybe that side of you again? Because we saw a bit of it in the Callum Smith fight when you stood and traded.
I guess if the opportunity presents itself, and if someone is gonna stand there, of course you're gonna tee off on them. But yeah, very compliment, a big compliment from Sam Maxwell to say that. He didn't say it when I was on the team, but I'll take that still. Yeah, I'll take that.
And one thing I really wanted to ask you about, I saw you went to a temple, is it in Ethiopia? Just after that was it. Yeah. Just tell me a little bit about that.
So in camp, we have a lot of time at hand, and in my spare time, I like to do research on religion, cultures, just different beliefs, just random stuff. And I came across this church that's in the mountains of Ethiopia, and when I went to Ghana after my fight, I was just at my mum's house, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go see your brother, and he lives in Ethiopia, my uncle. So when I said, damn, my uncle lives in Ethiopia, I want to go see him, and this church is where I want to go to. So I literally went the next day. It was on my actual birthday, actually. So it was amazing to actually go and experience all of that, to climb up. We climbed up. We went up a hill for about 20 minutes. And up the hill, the guy said, preserve your energy because you need it for the climb. And I was thinking, damn, I'm already tired from that 20-minute hike. Got there, and I was explaining this earlier. Usually a mountain or a hill looks like this, so you go up it, but the climb I had to do was like that. So I'm at the bottom, and I was looking up thinking, there's no incline, like it's just straight up. How are we meant to get up there? And we had to take off our shoes and climb up there barefooted. But it was an amazing experience, something that I wouldn't do again. Happy I've done it once after I watched back the videos, and I thought, damn, that was stupid to do. My coach rang me and said, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that was a dumb thing to do. But no, it wasn't. It was an amazing experience. If you get a chance, you guys, we got to leave this country and experience things. It was quite nice to me, man.
At the top of the light heavyweight tree, of course, the conversation's been dominated by Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, and it seems like there's another further delay to trilogy if that's going to happen because of Bivol's back issues, which means that the titles seem to be tied up for a further period of time. When do you think the conversation will move away from Bivol and Beterbiev and opportunities for yourselves and others to get a world title shot?
Man, it's very hard to say. That's why I think it's important while these guys are having these conversations. If you're light heavy, just keep fighting. You know, ain't nothing. For example, I had the interim when I beat Hutchinson. I could have sat on that and said, look, I'm waiting for this fight to come. I'm quietly waiting. But no, the Smith fight came. It was a good offer. We took it. And we came out short. So again, we don't not stop fighting. You keep fighting. The opportunity comes, you can say you were ready and you took it. You know, so yeah, I haven't got a specific date or answer as to when I think things will change, but in the meantime, I've got to make sure I get back to winning ways.
The fight's been ordered between Callum and David Morrell for an interim title. What do you make of that fight? What's your read on it?
They said it was for 30 days. Has it been 30 days yet? Or
I think they're trying to do a deal before it goes to the first bids.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be a very good fight. Very, very interesting fight. Stylistically, a good fight. Morrell, I think he boxed in New York. Yeah, I went to that. I saw him fight in New York. It was a good, interesting fight.
Was he fortunate that night, do you think?
Say that again?
Was he fortunate that night?
You know what? On being there in person, he actually won. But a lot of people that watched on TV said they felt he lost. But just being there in person, there's a few rounds that were quite rocky, but I thought he came out on top. But stylistically, again, another good fight. And if it happens, I'll be interested to see who wins.
What do you think about Itauma last weekend? Did you watch the fight between him and Dillian Whyte?
It's one word to say for it: flawless. You know, there's nothing you can say for it. And while it was a flawless performance, we have to get credit for Whyte as well for taking it. They said a lot of people didn't step up. Whyte stepped up, and you guys do your jobs, and I'm sure you've been close enough to a ring to see how dangerous it can be once the bell goes. So gotta give credit to Whyte, but also a flawless performance from Itauma.
I think he's ready for USYK.
I've been asked that, and I'm like, guys, USYK's unified division champion of 2 divisions, and he's unified the heavyweight title, the heavyweight division twice. So we're not talking about someone that's just got a title. No, he's unified it twice in 2 divisions. So we can chill a bit, but the best people to know that is Moses' team. They see him every day in the gym. They chat to him. They see what he does. They've seen him against other fighters that are good. They will know better what he can and can't do than we would.
Lastly, from myself, since we've momentum gaining on big fights happening over in Africa, there's a fight being announced in Nigeria and Ghana as well too. I think Matchroom were over there to discuss about the infrastructure and the potential of AJ being over there, but the possibility that you could have a fight over in Africa, I imagine you'd want to do before whenever the close of your career is.
Absolutely. I haven't got any mad venues in my mind, but if there's anywhere that you say, Josh, where would you love to fight? It'll be back in Ghana. Absolutely.
Josh, just before you go, I wondered if you had a prediction for Canelo Crawford. Creeping up, getting close now.
Yeah, next month. We're looking forward to it. My answers keep changing. I say Canelo because he's naturally the bigger man. They're both close in age, which is what people don't talk about. And of course, Canelo got the experience. It's in his weight category. And I think Crawford, because look, it's Crawford. IQ, you can do anything that needs to be asked of him. And when they size up, the size difference isn't too much. But my mind keeps changing, so just like a fan, I'll be watching.
Look forward to it. Josh, take your car's calling, mate. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Joshua.
Appreciate it.